of heads. They hate that.
So not like a dog.
Not like a dog at all. I'm going to close this so that they're going to stay with us so they don't go running all over.
Here, come here, Zach.
So we're going that way. He's crooked. Don't go off. He'll get a complex. He's beaten up.
You're fine.
You're
fine.
Because when you wean baby boy, I have 2 groups of males. I have 32 altogether.
Look at him.
Never put baby boy in if you don't film him because he's just, everyone goes, oh, it's not good. But
Okay.
2 groups of males, and when you wean baby boy, the older males are going to beat up on him because it's alpha male. So I'm going to put, and here come the girls. So we're going to go in here where there's shade, and it's not as dusty.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
No, they're not going to kick. Well, don't stand, never stand directly behind an animal. And by the way, that one laying there, that's called the dead alpaca syndrome. They sun themselves. So come on in.
Look at that. That's great.
We're supposed to stand directly.
Go ahead. Come with me.
Come on in. Yes, I know, love. Come on. Come on. I know. All the way in.
All the way in. All the way in.
This guy. Come on, Pernod. Come on, Pernod.
Hello.
I name my animals after blues and rock and roll, but I do have a French line. Come on, love. Come on, you can do it. Come on.
Wait, why can't you stand directly behind them?
Because
So you're at a distance. You're fine. Come
Thank
on,
you.
love.
they will kick.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
started
natural
with
thing.
3 girls, Creme Brulee, Minky, and Peony. And luckily I had 2 friends with French names. Drama. Janine and Simone have animals named after them. So I have a Tatienne, I have a Colette, I have a Jean-Luc for Jean-Luc Ponty, and I have a Pernod. But this little dude with the leg warmers, that's Snooks.
God, that's so
This
cute.
is Benson.
Which one can't we film? We can't film?
Well, crookedness. Look, that's Jean-Luc. We don't
French.
need to film. Yes, he's French.
French.
He's French. We don't. But they roll, and the girls are teasing the boys. But the beige boy, this is Harpo. Benson, September 2nd, 2020, September 4th, September 17th.
Wow.
So, come here, you. And this is John Dawson, dark silver gray for Johnny Winters. Yes, I do have an Edgar. Edgar's got a little blue in his eye, which is a bad thing. Okay, you want to touch softness?
Yes.
Touch. Now, they get shorn once a year.
Really?
So depending on where you live
Aw.
is when you
You wanna
shear.
touch 'em? Oh, okay. So when do you
That
do
is-
it?
They were done May 18th.
Yeah,
Anytime
okay.
from the end of April, no later than the first week of June. If you leave the fiber on them, they'll heat stroke and die. They have anywhere 5 to 8 inches or so of staple length on them, puffy, sticking off of them.
That's
Wear a black t-shirt in the sun, be a black alpaca in the sun. So you've got to get that fiber off of them. Well, because you ate too fast. Yes, and hawk it up. Because you're a piggy. Oy. That's JJ for JJ Kale and Janice Joplin. He's a medium silver gray.
I
So
see.
we have 6 shades of gray, not 50. We have rose gray and silver gray. And the rose gray has nice brown tones to them. We have 2 shades of black. Oh, really? 2 shades of black, Bay Black and True Black. Beckett's True Black, Pernod is True Black. Benson is Bay Black. He's darker than dark brown, but he's not as black as True Black.
all right, yeah.
And his father, actually Benson's sire, is my Taj Mahal, my firstborn, who is True Black. Their life expectancy, 15 to 20 plus years. And my oldest male, Beckett, will be 20 on August 23rd. And Peony, one of my first white girls, she is 20 June 14th. Wow. So, yeah. And I'm not breeding her because she's done. You can breed up until the end.
Really?
The first alpaca I ever met was 21 in
hello.
Preggers. He's getting all randy with himself. But this guy, he's adorable. I mean, look at those legs. He's the only one on my farm that looks like that.
That's great.
With like the leg warmers, but he's
Yeah.
very, very cute.
Apparently we heard them fighting last
Yes,
night.
last night, and all it takes is for a male to look at another male with a stink eye.
I
And
read
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
Like, I was like, what's that noise?
And
So I
they
went
go
on Google.
right for the
and I
family
heard-
jewels.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can get, no, it's true. What? It's true.
I love it.
This guy, all right, this is a perfect bite. Come here, you. Hard upper palate. No teeth up there.
Oh, I see.
And bottom teeth, and the teeth should meet the palate perfectly. So the males, when the males become sexually mature, they start to grow these fighting teeth, and in the wild, the alpha male has a harem of females, and only he will be breeding to those girls, and he will fight the other males in the area, and he will castrate them with his fighting
Oh,
teeth.
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that
You're
make
not
them?
breeding, only I am.
Castrate means rip their family jewels off.
Make it so they can't have
Babies.
I thought that was called getting
Gelded, neutered.
no, a vasectomy
Yeah,
or neuter.
That's it's an
It's a
operation.
little different.
There's
Oh.
a doctor involved in that.
Yeah.
In the wild, though, the male, because they're very protective over, they want to be doing the breeding. How old are you?
12. I already had like all the
Okay.
stuff.
I just want to make sure I don't say anything. Bite my tongue, stick my foot in my mouth.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Well, when I get like 2 girls that are hormonal,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's a Christmas card, basically, one on top of the other. I'm like, well, we are in Vermont. You can explain that to the 4-year-old later. So I started with the 3 girls, and they get here, and they all said, where is everybody? Very agitated, because they came from a herd of over 50.
Oh, okay.
So they are a herd animal. Well, no one told you to eat so fast.
Is he trying to throw up?
No, he's just aspirated. He's fine. They do this. So 2 of them were pregnant, gestations 11 to 11 and a half months.
Wow.
1 cria is a baby, and they're only a cria from birth till 6 months. That's baby alpaca.
Wait, where are they?
There aren't any babies on the ground at the moment.
right.
They're still in mama. The girls
you
aren't
have to be here at the right
ovulators.
time.
All it takes is just one look and they're ready to go. It's not like we have a breeding season, but I don't want winter babies, and I like my autumn babies.
Oh.
So
Wait, what? Like, why can't it be like is winter like?
it's too cold. I don't have
A
a
lot of
heated
work.
barn.
Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah,
of work.
it's not that it's so much work. It's just because normally they don't need any human interference with birthing. I did take a neonatal class, so I have the confidence to glove up, lube up, and go in. Doesn't make me a vet, but at least I know if there's a
If you
dystocia, if there's a
can't.
problem.
Yeah.
Heavens forbid if it needs a C-section, which, knock wood, I've never had to have that happen. But these 3 boys were actually on the ground when I came out in the morning. I didn't have to do anything except dry them, blow dry and towel dry. No, we don't stick them in the sun. And take the temperature, weigh them. Very important to weigh them. Normal weight's 11 to 22 pounds.
Born.
Oh.
Okay, born, and they're like
Hello.
here and then neck up here. They're born with all the fiber on them.
Is he nice?
He's a sweetheart. Just don't touch the top of the head. I know everybody wants
Can I pet
it.
back there?
Your neck and body. You could walk on the side of him and touch. Go ahead. You just, be real gentle about it. He's good. So, but when you touch an alpaca, you don't come away with a greasy, schmutzy, disgusting feeling because there's no lanolin. When you touch a sheep, you got to go wash your hands. People who can't wear wool, they can wear alpaca. This is the hypoallergenic fiber.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Within 5 months, I had my first cria, which was Taj Mahal. 2 months later, I had my second one, Shane Anthony the first. You want girls, but I had 2 boys. And so now there are 5 of them. But in hindsight, see, you keep doing it. Hawk it. In hindsight,
He's sneezing.
no, he's coughing. In hindsight, I would start with 5 pregnant females, doubling the herd in the first year, and 4 gelded males. The males who are neutered, gelded, shouldn't be breeding because of negative traits. Like 1 of 5 reasons is a reason to neuter. Bad bite, bad conformation to the legs. His fiber is coarse. The softer the animal, the softer the end product. If he's got blue eyes, it's a recessive gene in alpacas. They can be born blind and or deaf. And if his family jewels are not a perfect pair of Tiffany earrings, off they come. And why do I want 4 gelded males? Because out of the pregnancy, someone's going to give me a baby boy. Now, what if I have only 1? It doesn't matter if 2, whatever, between 6 to 10 months, he's got to get weaned. He's got to get away from his mother because he's going to start thinking naughty, randy thoughts. And we do not breed family members to each other. Bad things happen.
Oh,
Right? Go to any
sure.
Walmart.
Wait,
Yeah.
Walmart here is toxic. It is. It's so bad.
does
Oh,
he, like, not he, do
those
they have,
are
like,
all
this,
girls. These are all boys.
do they still, do, like, the boys and the girls still have the same breeding process, like, a fertilizing it, like, fertilize?
They have to get on
Okay.
and do the whole, the
Okay.
nasty. Yep. They get jiggy with each other. And I'll bring the male over to the female. She'll run, give a tease, then she'll throw herself down like a sack of potatoes.
Wow.
And the breeding can last 10 minutes to 45 minutes. Minky was 10-minute Minky. She'd throw him off after 10 minutes, and she'd be pregnant on the first try. She only
Wow.
gave me one male, Taj Mahal. Everyone else girls.
Wow.
So anyway, so 4 gelded males. Time to wean baby boy. Off they go. The 4 gelded males and baby boy, they go to a separate paddock away from the girls, and they're their own herd. If I had 2 gelded males and 1 baby boy, that's 3 animals. It's not a happy number.
Wait, do you have,
There's
like-
safety in numbers.
Do you literally have like a whole like room or something for them
No,
to just
I
like,
do it right between here.
for them to reproduce?
Yes, I
Yeah.
light some candles. I get the wine out, you know. I maybe play some Andrea Bocelli. What can I say? I've done 6 breedings at the same time.
Wow.
1 here, 1 in between there, 1 in the meet and greet, which is very dusty. That's 3, 4, 5 in the barn, separate stalls, and then on the other side of here. So I had all 6 breedings going on, and I sat there on my bench with my rolling rock and a pad and who I'm begatting whom to. And as each one finished, I wrote down the time that it took, and I would bring the male back up, and I'd put him in the chute over there. When you put a male who's just finished in back with the big boys, poo hits the fan because all the other males are jealous and they fight. So as each male was finished, I put them in the chute, and they were all like, and nobody fought because they all got lucky. I learned this over the years. Never put them back in because they will fight. And they go right, and of course he smells like her, and but I did, one year I did 6 breedings. That's the year I did 6 breedings. Only 3 turned out to be pregnant. So I don't care what you see on the video on YouTube. You can't just have one. Out of that one running on the beach with his alpaca, that alpaca becomes sexually mature. No. And the thing is that alpaca never learned the boundaries of human and alpaca. They have to learn. You can't treat a human like you would another alpaca, which is the problem I had with Percy, who is no longer with us, thank you. My ex was in his face way too much, and he never learned the boundaries. And one day I went to go do shots, and I always left him for last because he would psych me out. No, you can't get me. No, you can't get me. Well, I went to go just put my arm around him and give him the shot, sub-Q over there, and he rears up and he goes for me and he gets me with his teeth right here. I needed 7 stitches at my hairline. I did not go down. 149 pounds slammed into me because why? He's looking at me like I'm another male that's challenging him. So I get the stitches, and the ER doctor's like, "What animal did this to you?" I said, "No, Papa." And my friend had to drive me because I knew I had a concussion. And he says, "An alpaca? I thought they were so mild and mellow." And the friend and I went, "Not Percy," in unison. It was like, no. Everyone asked, "Is he still breathing?" Yes, I need progeny from him. So
I looked it up, and apparently they're like better with kids than they are with adults. But I don't know if that's true.
no, I don't think that's true. I mean, they're curious about children. Let's put it this way. Lola, I could have 15 people in there in the meet and greet, and she'll pick one person with the best karma and glom onto them. That's Lola. And then I've had weeks go by, she wouldn't go near anybody. She wouldn't, she'd just stand off to the side, and then I'm like, okay. You know, she's my canary in a coal mine, basically.
Wait, which one's Lola?
Lola is one of the girls down there.
Oh.
And Lola actually has blue eyes. So she's out of the breeding program. She's neither blind nor deaf, but if she were to breed, she could produce it. So she's out of the breeding program because I don't need that. I'm not taking a chance. But funny enough, when he was 5 days, Harpo was 5 days old. Yeah, go ahead.
Do they even care if you just start petting them?
Well, some of them might, some of them won't, but he doesn't care. Just don't corner him. When he was 5 days old, he went to all the girls thinking they all must be here for me. And he went to try to latch on. No, get away from me, kid, you bother me, except for Lola, who stood perfectly still and let him latch on. He induced lactation.
Really?
And I've got myself a wet nurse.
Oh, okay.
She's got that maternal instinct.
Yeah.
You know, I had that happen once before. Sophia did it for Edgar.
No, that's good.
And Edgar actually is out of Percy. And Percy is out of Peony. Peony, when we were first here, and I had the 3 girls and the 2 baby boys, We saw lights on, off. It was at night. Saw the lights going on and off, on and off. I said to my future ex, I said, there's someone in the barn. He comes out, Peony was turning the light on, off. They were out of hay.
Oh, wow.
Her
They're
son,
telling
Percy,
That's awesome.
my ex who had like a lot of upstairs issues, including OCD, he would weigh him every day, 3 times a day for the first month. And he could be out here doing poo and he'd say, Percy, go get on the scale. And we used to keep the scale, animal scale, in the barn until the pigeon showed up. Then I moved it to the garage. The $1,200 scale's getting pooed upon. I don't think so.
Oh,
But he would
right.
say, Percy, get on the scale. And Percy would run into the barn and he'd stand on the scale waiting for my ex to come in there. And when he said, okay, he would jump off. To the end, to the very end, I could take Percy into the garage, close the doors, drop the leash and say, Percy, get on the scale. And he'd get on it and he'd wait.
That's so
I mean,
great.
but he gets the smartness is from Peony. Because Peony was wicked. She is wicked, wicked smart. And she does pass that along. And she also, all of her grandchildren do this. Just like she does when you talk to them, they cock their head a little. But they get second cutting hay, they get grain especially formulated for them. They'll graze. It's a nice lifestyle. It's not for everybody.
How old are they once they can start reproducing?
The girls start between 18 months to 2.5 years old, and the boys start at about 2 years, although yes, they think about it earlier. Benson, he was 4 days old. One of the girls was cushed laying down. He went over this way, over her head until he figured out where he needed to be. He's a Ken doll. Nothing has even thought of descending. How do you have the instinct to do? You didn't see anybody else? How do you? It's up there. I'm like, you're going to be quite the little herd sire. When it came time to wean him at 7 months old, put him in here with these boys, and I brought Harpo because they've 2 days apart. They've never been separated. I went to go feed them. They all get their own bucket. This wasn't feeding time. This was just to get them to come in. Put their buckets down. He went to every bucket, tui, 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 and spat in all the buckets. Mine, 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 mine. Like he thinks he's all that and more. They have 3 stomachs. Cows have 4. So they are ruminants. So they can give you a tui or a full-on loogie, and I've gotten the loogie right here. Peony let me have it in my mouth. It was up my nose, in my diamonds. That's when I learned, bring extra clothes to the show because you will get spit at. And you don't. She took first place.
Does it hurt?
Spit?
Like, is it really fast?
They don't miss when they have excellent aim and they spit. They're going to get what they're aiming for, and it goes far too. If you're standing, they can let you have it. I don't take money from people. Let my animals spit, but that's a defense mechanism. Okay.
Like if somebody were to what's his name, Benson?
Benson.
If somebody were to hurt him, he could just pinpoint spit.
Oh, he'll knock you down and stomp you and spit on you all over until you're dead.
Really?
Yeah. The girls took out. We don't talk about the bloodthirsty alpacas, but they took out 2 bats and 2 rabbits. The bats, I had just the 3 girls and the 2 baby boys. I come into the barn from the other side, and there's a dead, flat bat in the middle of my barn. Girl grew up in Great Neck going, "Ugh." But look how ugly you are. And little fingers scoop you up, fling it into the lilac bushes. I don't think anything more. 2 days later, there's another one. Almost in the same spot. Now I'm like, how on earth? And my 3 girls come over and they're puffing themselves up and they're doing this. They're looking at me and looking at the bat. They're looking at me and looking at the back and forth. And I'm like, and Peony is actually standing right. How did how? Bat's flying. You don't belong here. You're a potential predator to my babies. Full on loogie. Get the bat. Bat lands. Flat.
I'm sad.
Well,
Sad for the bat?
well, no, I'm not. I know they'll do what it takes to protect them.
Yeah.
If there's something on the property like a stray dog, a stray cat, a raccoon, or skunk, or something that doesn't belong here, whoever sees or smells it first gives the alarm call to alert the herd. Stand by. There's something out there that's going to be, a problem. They band together like one big animal, and they'll keep, if there are crias on the ground, they'll keep them behind them, and they're getting ready to, spit and stomp. That's how they, kill. They don't challenge fencing. This is only a 4-foot no climb. So predators, they don't, like goats fling themselves over fences. They don't challenge fencing. It's to keep the predators out. The other thing I would do in hindsight, I would do a 5 or a 6 foot no climb on the exterior with an electric line above and below and a moat with crocodile and piranha, but short of that, lights. I pay for that light on State Line. I just realized last night that light I have to replace. It's out. I have lights everywhere because predators don't like lights.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so they are first cousins to the llama. I was given a llama as a gift in 2004. He has since passed away. Charlie lived to be 18. People would meet Charlie and say, you don't need a man, you have Charlie. He was wonderful. Like if you came in here and Charlie was here, he'd come in, if you were standing next to me, he'd in between, what are your intentions? And he would look at you like you're standing too close to my woman. He was very possessive. He was also excellent with the crias, with the babies. So they are first cousins.
Who's probably your favorite? Do you not have
Well,
one?
Taj is my firstborn, and I brought him to a nursing home when he was like 3-4 months old, and he was perfect. Wheelchairs in front of him, rolling back and forth, hands reaching out, but I knew his temperament. He was sweet enough to handle it. Ayla, who is also no longer with us, Ayla, a spitter from the get-go. She was born doing this. So locked and loaded, and she was ready to go. She passed actually a year ago, July 2nd. Called my shearer because it used to take 3 of us to get her for shearing. I said, I have a Christmas present for you. What? I said, Ayla died. He said, thank you. Because we went through 3-4 tube socks, so she spits into the sock. 3 or 4 giant beach towels because she urinates uncontrollably as we bring her from the barn to the garage. And she's giving the alarm call the whole time to alert the media that we're murdering her. Yeah. Major drama.
Do they ever actually go after you, though?
No. Percy was the only one who ever thought of it because he was the one who never learned boundaries of that. I am your human. I am your alpha. Even Taj knows I'm his alpha. Yeah. Okay, they know who the boss is. But llamas,
Leg warmers.
Llamas, they're in again. Maybe they never left. Llamas are anywhere between 300 to 600 plus pounds. Yeah. Alpacas 120 to 170. Llamas have a banana-shaped ear. Alpacas have a spear-shaped ear. Llamas were bred as a pack animal to load them up, go hiking. You can use their fiber for an end product, but it's nowhere near as soft. And alpacas, it's always been about the end product. And there's a difference from one animal to the next as far as softness. That's breeding. We want to breed the best to the best. So the only thing I took out of my genetics symposium was you have a 1 in 32% chance of breeding 2 perfect parents and having perfect progeny. But you also have a 1 in 32% chance of breeding 2 perfect parents and having but ugly progeny. It's a roll of the die, but your odds are better if you start with 2 perfect parents.
Which is like a really well matched.
Well, no, it's not that they're well matched. It's just you can breed any color to any color, and we have more than 22 natural colors, but you should never, ever breed white to gray because then you do have a 50-50 chance of having blue eyes, so you just don't do it. I bred 2 of my dark fawn girls to 2 dark fawn males, and I had 2 white crias. That's not what I wanted. I wanted fawn. But if I look further back in the genetics, there was white, 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 white. Every animal that was brought over from South America in between 83 and 98 to start the North American alpaca fiber industry, blood was drawn. And a blood database was created. So every animal born on the farms in North America and Canada, blood is drawn, dropped on the DNA card, sent to the registry. We don't get a birth certificate until they test the blood and say, yes, that's the dam and that's the sire. Even though we write that on the card, they're going to test it, make sure. They can't leave the state or go to a show without the birth certificate. They're useless, worthless without a birth certificate. So the animals, sire and dam are on there, but like Creme Brulee, her parents were imports because it was just her mother and father on the birth certificate. We have no records beyond that. So the longer the animals are here, and the color of the animals on there. So the longer the animals are here, we have more records of who begat to whom, okay? Softest fibers in the world, number 1 is muskox or kiviute. It's in the goat family. A pair of socks, I think, are over $300.
Because it's so nice.
It's unbelievable. It's lighter than a cloud. It's nice. It's nicer than nice. it's number 1. Number 2 is the vicuña, which is in the camelid family. Hello, camel. They're in the camel family. Yeah, okay. Vicuñas are only found in the Andes. They only come in 1 color, vicuña. It's their name and color, and a scarf is over $600, and they're not domesticated at all. Number 3 is the Surrey alpaca, which is the other alpaca. Their fiber parts down the middle and then drapes, silky soft. Number 4 is the cria, and that's a baby, only from birth till 6 months. 6 months to a year, they're a juvenile or a juvie, then a yearling, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and up. And number 5 is what I breed, the wakaya. Then come your cashmeres and angoras, poo-poo. Yeah. I worked with a gal, and she had gotten herself, when I worked at the Queen's DA's office as their money lady, one of the girls in administration got herself a little potbelly pig. Little potbelly pig didn't stay little potbelly. This thing got over 300 pounds. Lived in their basement. They had the outdoor doors. Okay, so they put a couch in there, a TV, so they could watch TV with the pig at night.
For Green Acres.
Yeah, well, not really, because they have to rent a van to get the pig in the van to take it to the vet. I'm moving up here. I bought the farm. You'll take my pig? No. Why won't you take my pig? Because I don't want your pig. But you're going to have a farm. I said, an alpaca farm.
Yeah.
Not a pig farm. Not an alpaca farm with a pig. I said, I didn't tell you to get a pig. You know what I've learned in the last 2 years? You can't fix stupid.
So wait, how long have you been doing this?
Since September 18th, 2002.
What made you start doing it?
I saw a commercial. I was in Bayside. I had enough news. It was October 2001. I went over to the Animal Planet for something normal. And there was the face of a Crea. And I went, wah! I went nuts. Future X comes running in. What? I said, look. He said, can't be real. Oh my God, it's real. What is it? Because it was, And he says, what is it? I said, it's a baby alpaca. He says, you own alpaca. I had a winter white coat more than 15 years old, a black sweater more than 18 years old. And I know you can't really tell anymore, but I did grow up in Great Neck, and I used to be a fashion maven. Don't even start me on shoes. I love shoes. When am I going to wear heels? To aerate the lawn? It's a whole other lifestyle. So my brain is saying, though, there's
you were tired of that.
Well, there's something to this fiber that stands the test of time. I must know more. So the commercial told me to go online to AOBA, Alpaca Owner Breeders Association. They sent me a farm and ranch guide. We find a farm to go to. An hour and a half later, get in the car, and my future ex says to me, make this happen. So I start getting more information where there are alpaca shows in the Northeast. We start going, meeting alpaca people, being invited to their farms at a later date and staying over for the weekend. There was so much interest that these people said we have to have like seminars to teach the potential newbies. We start doing seminars, learning how to do shots and toenails. I can do the shearing, but leave me alone. I hire a pro. He takes 6 to 7 minutes per animal. And I am a retired groomer. I did cats, dogs, occasional ferrets. These are not poodles.
Yeah.
Okay, my first question was, do I have to bathe and fluff them before they go into it? No. They can go into the show ring with, schmutz on them. Just make sure no poo dingles on the tushy. Okay, 80% of the judging is on the fiber. 6 is in height. 16 animals go into the ring. 10 take the walk of shame. 6 come out with ribbons. They're all the same age, sex, and color. They show dark to light. So if you only breed white alpacas because that's what the mills want, because it's dyeable, you're there to the last day. It's a lot of fun, okay? But so we're meeting people. Actually, the first person I ever met is the man who gave me my llama. Oddly enough, he and my ex-husband have the same birthday, but Steve is normal while my ex-husband was not. In any case, we're now upstate, 4th of July weekend 2002, visiting a bunch of farms, hanging out, and we're headed home. And Route 22 became Route 67, and welcome to Vermont, and for sale. This is not the original house. The original house was a renovated 3,000 square foot barn that my ex burnt down by accident in 2007, before he was my ex. We were in the barn. We did not know. He emptied the ashes from the stove incorrectly. I do comedy, he did drama. My cup runneth over, his was never filled. I had 8 cats and a Rottweiler. I ran into that burning house. You better believe it. I only could get the 1 cat and the dog out. I'm the only daughter of an only daughter. My mother was siphoning everything out of the house to me. I never thought of it. I just get my babies. My fur babies. Sure. I didn't breed humans. I just breed alpacas and rescue cats. Leave me alone. You can give me 3 piddling Rottweilers, but 1 screaming child, I'll lose my mind.
Do they ever look at humans?
Look at what?
He seems to like it.
Well, he's an animal.
Yeah, he seems to like to look at my feet.
Well, they love laces. They don't know what to do with Velcro. One of my girls, Layla, she is a pickpocket. She's a klepto. She's been known to go into open pocketbooks and pull things out.
Without you even knowing?
Yeah. Well, you can feel it. You can feel it, and sometimes you don't feel it. Like when she stole a 20 that I stuck in my tankini strap. I never felt her lips softer than butter. And the girl who gave me the 20 said, "Is that the 20 I gave you? Give me that money!" And I had up to here in her mouth. I had to go in and get the money out. It wasn't spitty like rumen spit, just a little wet. Yeah. laid it out. I'm like, don't do that again. And she's like, what? She went to go get it again, like to take it off of where it was drying. Yeah, they have personalities, they have temperaments, they inherit from their parents and grandparents. There was that alpaca male who, in the middle of America, he ate with one leg up. And somebody from upstate New York wanted to breed their female to that male. Still. And when she had her cria, it was a little male. And when that male was old enough to eat grain, he ate with one leg up. He never saw his father.
Yeah.
They have no clue who daddy is. How would they know who their father is? But one thing I realized when Shane Anthony I got sick and I was walking him through the barn, he gave a, and his mother was like, and I'm crying. He hasn't seen his mother in like more than 11 years, but he recognized his mother and she recognized him.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I'm like, this is like a Disney movie. And they're in the barn and they're doing a little lip lock over the stall, and the next day he was gone.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not the same Sandy that moved here. It's when you're a farmer, you have to adapt to it.
Sure.
And I've had couples that come here and the husband's jumping up and down for joy and the wife is standing there like this, or like body language. And I'm like, listen, both of you got to be on the same page, because if one of you gets sick, the other one needs to know how to take care of the animals.
Yeah.
So, and you can't just, I know someone who had two. Why did he get them? Because they're so cute. Then you get a puppy or a kitten or a ferret if you have to. But this is livestock. No, I don't care how cute you are. You're not coming in my house. And he was pretty cute when he was first born. He's still cute. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, see, this is what happens. So, they roll. The grays are allowed to have spots on them. That's okay. That's okay. But the beiges, the blacks, the whites, you want the blanket to be
Nice and
completely solid. And yes, I know. Let me see if I can find any crimp in here. Okay.
Hello.
Here we have, I don't know if you can see, there's, stand still, will you? There's waviness in,
Oh, sure, I get you.
okay? This is still shearing lines, but when they're in full fiber,
Hello.
you can open up the fiber and you'll see wavy, wavy, wavy. That's the crimp. You want
So
density.
soft.
So when they go into the show ring, they walk to your right.
Laces.
Judge looks at the front legs. Walk to your spot. He looks at the back legs for confirmation. When it's your turn to be judged, give me your head. Oy. We smile for the judge. So they get used to this from the get-go. Then he opens up the fiber in 3 or 4 places. If he goes to the base of the tail and the base of the top knot, you have a pretty good idea he's going to place your animal, because what he's seeing is uniformity throughout.
Yeah.
So that's always
That's your
a good
clue
thing.
when
That's
you're
your
watching.
clue. And he keeps looking at your animal and like comparing to the other animals. It's a good thing, and that's your marketing.
Yeah.
All right, but back then animals were selling for $18,000 to $85,000 and up. It was insanity. People were very greedy. Hi. And then
It wasn't him. It's
2008.
Yeah, I remember 2008.
2008, economy went.
Yeah.
But all the people who'd started this in the 80s and 90s were all in their 50s.
Okay.
So now they're all getting ready to check out, and they have 2 choices: breaking up their herds, giving animals to other farms that they know and trust. And the animals that nobody wants goes to the exotic butcher. South Americans eat alpaca. It's a staple of their diet. They also eat llama, and they eat guinea pigs. Animals born with blue eyes in South America, culled from the herd. You don't want blind and deaf making more. Animals born with deformities, because there are no fences and family members are getting jiggy with each other. You don't want deformed animals making more, culled from the herd. They eat them, and they will use their pelts to make end products. People here eat cows, and then we get coach pocketbooks. I mean, I've been a vegetarian since I'm 4. So if it has a heart and a face and eyelashes, it can sexually reproduce. I can have it as a pet. It has a mother. It has lips. I won't eat it. Anyone ever been from New Jersey?
No.
No, we've been to New
Not
York.
from New Jersey.
You've been to New Jersey, but you haven't.
People from New Jersey always then say to me, so you eat fish. What did I just say? Come here. Make me come out of New York retirement and go whoops upside your head. They don't listen.
That's
I'm not a
pescatarian.
Thank you. I'm not one of those, because I just said fish have lips and they had a mother, they have eyes, I won't eat them. Anyway.
They actually are born in their father's mouth. The father has the eggs in their
Their
mouth
mouth.
and they hatch.
Why do you know? You watch a lot of Discovery, don't you?
No.
Oh.
He's a fountain of information.
This is a good thing. We just have to figure out what we're going to do with you when you get older.
They also, if they, back in Egypt.
So you're going to be a doctor, right?
No. But back in Egypt, they actually, if they wanted a family line to be king or queen, if this was either Egypt or Rome, they'd actually reproduce with the family.
Rome.
It was Rome.
Yeah.
And the family would reproduce with each other.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
No. And they eventually got really deformed. And had a bunch of
bad things. Bad
They
things.
had like chins out to like
yeah,
here.
we know. It's well, I mean, this can happen to animals too, bad things. So we don't want to breed family members. But so those animals are cold. But babies, a cria that drinks from a contaminated pool of water and passes away, they will use that pelt to make a high-end product like Russian hats, ear warmers, teddy bears.
You can pat her.
If I can.
Because
Okay.
it's all one.
Here we have crimp.
Oh, yeah.
What's crimp?
What you're looking at, the wavy in that fiber.
Yeah, it's really wavy.
He's very, very crimpy. His full sister, Albie, because she's out of Vaughan, and Vaughan is out of Stefania Ray, and Stevie Ray loved Albert King and Albert Collins. His sister is gorgeous. I did the breeding again, and I got Harpo, who's even better than his sister. Problem I have is going to shows. I had less than 15 animals. My neighbor next door kept an eye on the farm. My neighbor on that side kept an eye on the farm. They all got used to feeding them. You don't have to feed them grain every day. I'm only gone 2 nights, 3 days. Load them up with hay, fresh water, they're good. But both sides got used to feeding them. He passes away. They get divorced and moved away. I have nobody. So if I have an animal that is worthy to be in the show ring, because not all of them are worthy, I would send them with their Uncle Steve, the man who gave me my llama. He retired. It'll be 3 years this September.
Oh.
And he was like the last one I knew that was from, he wasn't one that imported them, but he had been in the business for like 22 years. All the people who started this, those are the people I was hanging out with. They're gone. Nobody knows I'm here. If my animals aren't in the show ring, nobody knows I'm here. So not a good thing. So selling alpaca is not happening. And plus, the other problem I had was I'd come out of the show ring with first place, go back to my pen, and there's my future ex-husband, sedated to the gills, fentanyl, Neurontin, and Vicodin,
What's that?
drugs.
Oh, so he's
Prescription
just.
drugs.
So he's not
Prescription
he's
drugs.
not helping anymore.
He's not helping anymore. He
I-
basically checked out himself.
Yeah.
I thought you meant he got really high.
No, he did from the drugs, but he was not a happy camper. He was actually bipolar, as it turned out. Yeah, he was a mess.
What's
Upstairs. He couldn't think straight. Any case, he passed my 5 questions, but now I know there's a 6th question. How do you get along with your mother? So the 3 things, the 5 things I pass along to everybody is 1, don't buy at the bottom of a mountain, because the stupid ex-New Yorker did, and rotted out the middle post in the front, so I had a jerry rig. I have 2 sources of water. Everything comes flowing through.
Oh,
Bad,
yeah,
very bad.
yeah.
So don't buy at the bottom of a mountain. Okay, whatever you do in life, make sure you love it, because you're doing it almost every day. You should have a passion for what you do. Second is if you want something bad enough, you make it happen. I moved in less than a year after seeing the commercial. And when a man doesn't have a normal, healthy relationship with his mother, run and don't leave a forwarding address. And 5th, very important, always buy Kubota, not John Deere. I wanted Kubota. He had to have a John Deere. Everybody told us, get Kubota. No. So, oh my, who's that? My hay is here. Love it.
Yay. Yay for hay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
Hey, it's hay.
And they know it.
look
they
at
know it. They
That's
know the
great.
truck.
Love
They
it.
know the truck.
Are they like, hey?
Hey, well, we
Hey.
don't. They have to have it because I have 8.5 acres, but because my ex was up here, he'd spend money on things we didn't need with money we didn't have. He'd open up credit cards, put my name on them, and then when he left, because he went back to Holland. Oh, I imported him from Holland in 1981, coach, and wished I could have sent him back cargo in 2009. He went back, but I'm left with the debt.
Yeah, yeah.
So very bad, and I didn't know all of this at the time.
Yeah.
So not a happy camper, you know. But I can't rotate my animals to fresh pasture because I don't have the money to do fencing. And that's just bottom line. I can't open up the gates and say go manja because there were predators out there.
Yeah, right.
We've got coyotes, we've got bobcats, we have cougars, we have fisher cats, we have bear.
Oh,
but-
I forgot about fisher cats.
Oh, yeah, nasty.
Yeah, we don't
They
have
go
those.
after the elderly and the young. They'll go to eviscerate. Yeah. Let me see if I can get these boys out just so you can have a moment with the girls.
Sure.
Boys, come on, lovies. Let's go.
If I eventually can like make my own business,
It might be this.
no,
Oh.
if I'll donate here.
Come on.
Oh,
A
I
lot of
see.
money.
Johnny, no girls, Johnny. No, put your tail down. Put your tail down. No one needs to see this.
Oh,
We know what you're doing.
wait, they're coming back in.
Get out. No, we're getting out. Out. No. Out.
Why doesn't he want to get out?
Because he wants the girls. Come on. Out. All of you, out. Thank you.
Very inappropriate.
They just being alpacas.
Ladies!
Are they also nice?
Well, they're coming in here.
They're
They're
probably
nice.
nicer.
The girls are more sociable than the males.
Yeah.
The males want just one thing.
Hello. Hello, beautiful girls.
There they go.
And this will get the boys all nuts. This is Peony right here.
Hi, Peony.
Which one? That one?
No, this white girl.
And that's the one that you said.
And you are now hearing the sound of orgling. Orgling is the sound they make when they're having nookie. Female, if there's grass in front of her, she graze. She says nothing. He does all the work. At one point, what the paparazzi are looking for is for the female to turn her head and look back at him, and he leans forward, and they do a little kissy, and then the paparazzi go crazy. That's the look of love. We're commemorating the look of love. That's not paca porn. Paca porn is when somebody records it, and somebody did record it. I had people here, and the girl says, I said, the males make the sound called orgling, and she says, what does it sound like? I says, I can't make that sound. She, O-R-G, Saturday morning, the quiet day, orgling fills the air. All the girls were in the meet and greet. All the girls threw themselves down. Me next. The boys start running to the fence. And
They can get it open?
start realizing, we're all here. Who's doing that to our girls? And then they started a fight. I'm like, put that thing away.
Dang.
So she is definitely in the mood. The only one that's pregnant,
Not the head. Well, why'd you do that?
and she is due in September.
Hello.
Lola.
This
This is Lola.
Wait, she just stood next to me.
Oh yes, she is my therapy animal. She's a love. And we have,
Hello.
see, if you're a light animal, you have a pinkish. If you're dark, you have a black one. But a perfect bite, but blue eyes.
Hello.
No.
But she is.
Would you reproduce?
No, she's never gonna breed.
Like if she didn't have blue eyes.
Yes, she'd be perfect because her fiber is beautiful
Aw.
too. But I can't.
How old is she?
She is 8 years old.